guys, Matt here, also known as HR Pup and Stuff. Today I'll be bringing you some Gears of War 3 gameplay on Mercy, and I'll be introducing a new series I'd like to bring to my channel. Let's talk about the gameplay. I got 27 kills, 23 downs, and 10 deaths. This was my fourth time playing the multiplayer in Gears of War, so I think I did pretty decent. So let's get to the introduction. So the series that I'd like to introduce is called Sunday Scary Stories, and it's basically every Sunday I tell you guys a scary story over some good gameplay, something to pass the time. So yeah, let's get on with it and let's start the first story. So this story is called Hide and Seek. There was once a family of 5, 3 children and 2 parents, who loved their kids with all their hearts. This family lived in a nice home in a quaint little town called Bakerston. Their lives were simple and pleasant, and Bakerston was an unusually peaceful town that had little to no crime. One of their children, the eldest daughter, was named Felicity, and she was very good at watching her little brothers Raymond and Rory, so occasionally their parents would go out for the night and have Felicity watch her brothers until they got back. Felicity was very good at this. She would always play games similar to hide and seek. She'd stand in the living room with her hands over her eyes and say, "Children, children all around, run before you can be found. For I am on the loose today, hide before I can say." And then she'd wait, listening to the rustling feet as they would hide. She'd search the house looking for them, and when she got close, she'd wait right outside the place she knew they were hiding, and she'd say, "Boo." When they heard this sound, they would know that she was close. So if she was correct, they would have to reply with the words, "Hello, Felicity," and she'd scoop them up and hug them. If the other child was close enough that they heard these words, they were allowed additional time to find a new spot, and then Felicity and the found child would look for them together. The children absolutely loved the game, and they insisted that they play it with them. That she played with them. Every time they were together. One night recently, after their parents left, Felicity and the boys were relaxing in their home. The boys were in their rooms or off of the living room, and Felicity was in the living room reading. Suddenly, there was a loud knocking at the door. Felicity, thinking it might be her parents and that they would be upset that the boys weren't asleep, she rushed to the intercom system that allowed anyone in the living room to speak to all the rooms in the house. The boys had one in their room too. This made it so that no one had to yell from room to room in their house. She pressed the button and said quietly, "Open your door and get underneath your covers. I think it's Mom and Dad. Pretend to be asleep." Then she went to answer the door. The boys did as they were told and got beneath the covers. They heard the door open, but no other sounds. It was quiet. Then the intercom bleeped, which meant someone was on the other side. A voice said, "Children, children all around." The little boy shivered. It was Felicity, and she sounded scared. She had spoken at a whisper, and they became frightened. They stayed in their beds, still scared. Then, "Run before you can be found." They glanced at each other in horror. "For he is on the loose today. Hide before I can say." "She wants to play the game," Rory whispered to Raymond. They waited a few seconds, then it came on again. "Children, children all around." Silence. "Run before you can be found." Silence. "For it is on the loose today. Hide before I can say." The boys quickly decided that they needed to hide. They crawled to their favorite place, which was a broom closet in the hallway that Felicity claimed was too small to fit in, but the boys knew it wasn't. She never found them there. She always called quits if either of them chose that spot. They quieted their breathing, listening for sounds. They heard a soft shuffling of feet, but that was all. They stayed in the closet a long time. Suddenly, though, another sound filled their ears. Thud. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Thud. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Thud, thud, thud. The sound got closer and closer and closer and closer. They heard Felicity's voice whisper, but it seemed to come from throughout the house. Children, children all around, run before you can be found, for I am on the loose today. Hide before I can say. Silence. Then, in the softest whisper of all, right outside the closet they heard, "Who?" Rory opened his mouth to say, "Hello, Felicity," but Raymond closed his hand over Rory's mouth. It was silent for a long time. Then, from Raymond and Rory's right, inside the closet, a voice was heard. "Hello, Felicity." Rory and Raymond turned ice cold, but they didn't move. Outside the closet, Felicity started to cry. Then in tears she said, "New game, Rory is it." That same night, the parents of Rory, Raymond, and Felicity came home to a devastating sight. On the table was a letter that had apparently been opened by Felicity that said, "I want to play your game. I'm in the children's room. We'll all play together." They proceeded to look throughout the house for the children. They couldn't find them that night. The next night they found Rory. His eyes were soon shut, and he was jammed underneath the kitchen sink covered in blood. The day after that they found Raymond. His eyes were soon shut, and he was shoved underneath his bed covered in blood. The day after that they found Felicity. Her eyes were soon shut, and she was squished inside a cupboard. The deaths were mourned, and their bodies were burned. A week later, another body was discovered. A missing mortician was found crammed inside the hallway closet with his sewing kit clutched between his cold, dead fingers. The thud, thud, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle the kids heard had been the sound of Felicity bumping into walls. She had been looking for them, and she couldn't see because her eyes had been sewn shut. Years later, it was said that the soft calling of Felicity's voice could be heard, calling the words to the children's hide-and-seek rhyme. "Children, children all around, run before you can be found, for I am on the loose today. Run before I can say boo!" Alright, that was pretty good. Alright, so leave a like if you like that. If you guys want me to continue this more often than every week, leave a like or leave a comment. So yeah, I'll leave you guys to watch the remaining gameplay.